dive into that sludge that we spoke of. As you said, it's going to be a little bit more of the challenge because that seems to have made headlines in the past of one of the areas of concern of just one, how to get to it, how to remove it, but also what happens to that after. If you can go into detail about that process.
Well, I'll give you a wave top answer, and I think that's more appropriate to turn it over to Admiral Barnett because that'll be his mission. But essentially, when fuel is sitting in a tank, there's sediment that settles to the bottom. And over time, it becomes a semi-solid, semi-liquid substance that needs to be removed. Now, this isn't unique to Red Hill. Every fuel storage depot, every gas station has sludge in the bottom of their tanks. There's actually rules and regulations of how you remove and how you clean sludge. It's just at a much larger scale in a facility with each tank being 250 feet tall and 100 feet in diameter. But you're right, it's going to have to be removed methodically, deliberately, safely per regulatory rules, and it will take a certain amount of time. Again, it needs to be sequenced with all other activities in the facility. So Admiral Barnett could probably talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, please do. We'd love to hear it.
Okay, and regarding the sludge, it'll be about 28,000 gallons of sludge, and that's our initial estimate. I'll tell you that we've removed sludge from the tanks in the past through our clean and inspect and repair program. So a contractor will go inside and they will physically have to remove the sludge with buckets, and then it will be treated like hazmat, taken off island, and taken care of in the appropriate environmental way. So we've done this before, and so we have contractors that will help us through this process.
And if I could just follow up, just so that I'm getting the math right here, we're talking 64,000 gallons of residual fuel. 60,000 of that is taken out. There's 4,000 remaining.
Right.
What's the 28? Is that part of that 64,000?
No,
that's different.
That's totally different. So that would be just think in the bottom of the tank. That will just be waiting in the bottom of the tank. So,
okay. Well, let's go to that 4,000 then.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about the mechanism to remove that.
Okay, that we will get at that through methods where we have to physically remove those 3 miles of pipe for each line. So we'll go in and we'll have the same methods that the Joint Task Forces use for containment and controlling to make sure we don't have anything leak into the environment. So we'll go in and the contractors will go in, they'll remove the pipes, and we will capture that fuel.
Based on what you've learned so far about this process through the unpacking and through the defueling, as you look forward to this next phase, is there more complexity in it? Because there seems to be just a lot of uncertainty about where the fuel may actually be. And knowing that it may be a little more complex, what steps are being taken to ensure, of course, the safety of the water, the aquifers and the water supply overall?
So and I know you haven't had a chance to look at the supplement, but in the supplement, there's enclosures that highlight where this residual fuel is. We've done surveys through every square foot of the facility with lasers, with top-notch engineers, so we know where this residual fuel is. So, that's one thing. So we have pinpoint precision where we're going to have to do these procedures. But you're right. It will take choreography to make sure that we execute safely. But the procedures that we have implemented for defueling will be the same procedures that will be used for removing the residual fuel. So these risk reduction measures have been worked out through collaboration with the DOH, or Department of Health, and the EPA. So like I said, under each valve, we've got containment. We've got all the drains that have been sealed so that if there were to be a spill, that they wouldn't be collected in that drain and then potentially have an avenue to get into the lava rock and then work its way into the aquifer. We have spill kits, we have responders, we also have rovers that are walking through the facility 24/7. We now have those temporary cameras that are scanning and surveilling every square inch of the facility 24/7. So those risk reduction measures will remain in place while we're doing residual fuel, and then as we move to closure for those procedures as well.